Hello and welcome to another beautiful day. This is Outnumbered live on your screen. Today is a very wonderful day and it is the 19th day of March 2024. My name is Ramsey Enoch and of course I have Antonia Nwokolo this morning. Good morning, Antonia.
Good morning, Ramsey.
How was your rest?
Very well, thank you.
Beautiful. You're looking like someone that rested very well.
You too.
All right, let's bring you to speed with the headlines that we have for the day. And we want to start with the Vanguard newspaper this morning. On the Vanguard, we have this one, Edo Guba. APC unveils Idahosa running mate. There are some riders to that story. Tinubu predicts victory for APC. Presents party's flag to Akpabolo. All right, let's see how that is going to end. Another writer to that story says PDP picks Oge as Igadelo's running mate. Then the last writer to that story says Okwebolo dynasty okays Igadelo's candidacy. The details of that you can get on page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. On page 27 of the Vanguard newspaper, we have this headline still about terrorism. Terrorists kidnap 87 in fresh Kaduna attack. Yesterday we talked about Kaduna, the attacks in Kaduna extensively. It's like they heard us when we're like lamenting the rising cases. It increases every day.
On a daily basis.
On a daily basis. Another 87, a fresh attack again, still in Kaduna State.
I'm tempted to say this is sponsored because
it is obvious.
Because if there are actually people, if it's just different groups doing this, they would have gotten tired by now.
By now.
When they see the cries and the complaints of people, yes, we know some persons might be very hardened, but by now, if someone is not engineering it, then they should have given up, so to say.
It's so amazing that they do this thing on a daily basis and they are not being caught. So what's happening there? Who is playing who? Who is trying to lie to who? Well, let's see how that is going to end. All right, on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper, I have this headline which says Nigeria doomed without new constitution. All right, Anyako, Adebanjo, Nwachukwu, Atta, and Sanwo-Olu are the ones saying that. And that takes me to the big story for today. Aftermath of soldiers killing. Bloodbath in Delta. Villagers flee. Hide in forest. They shouldn't hide. They should wait. I don't think they should hide. They should wait. Page 5. It's pathetic. I saw the pictures of the fallen soldiers this morning and I felt very bad. You need to see how many young soldiers were there, and the senior ones we have. You talked about it yesterday.
Officer,
you know,
two majors
and a captain. That's pathetic.
Really pathetic.
Lives are cut short. And finally, from here, from the Vanguard newspaper, I have this story. And when I saw this story, I was like, "Hey, come on! I think these people need to do something early." Pardon, Obi calls for review of 2024 budget. Details of that you can find on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. Obi will not cease talking. This is one man that cannot be quiet. It's as if he feels ill when something is going bad and he doesn't talk about it. So he's always voicing it out. But I want to say this administration should listen to what Obi is saying from time to time and forget about party politics and political differences. Over to you, Antonia, for the next paper.
All right. Thank you, Ramsey. On the Guardian newspaper, the first headline there is the big story. It says, inflation and rising construction costs. Low middle class defer home ownership plans for food. And there is a picture there that has this caption, with 30% of income needed for mortgage, it's difficult for workers earning 100,000 naira to own a home. And also the Food inflation, February food inflation was ranked at 37.92%. The cost of living over time has increased, and a lot of Nigerians are struggling. Nigerians are struggling to make ends meet. And this just goes to show that it's difficult for you to now get a house because people will rather prioritize food. You rather eat to be alive. Someone that's alive that will stay in a house. So you rather prioritize food than going to start looking for a new house. Or now is the time where Nigerians are focused on feeding themselves and staying alive. And that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Court convicts 5 persons for murder and kidnapping in Rivers State. The story is on page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. Settle NASU, SANU members urgently, NLC tells government. The details of that story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. And Tinubu meets Edo APC chiefs over state crisis. You can find that story on page 5. And finally, from the Guardian newspaper, terrorism. Ohaneze cautions Tinubu as gunmen abduct dozens in fresh Kaduna attack. We're talking about Kaduna and the constant attack on.
I think I like that. Ohaneze.
Yes.
From
Ohaneze Ndigo.
From the east.
Yes.
Is concerned about what is
Absolutely.
happening in Kaduna State.
Because
we are one Nigeria.
Yes. It just shows that we are having this unity. Yes, Nigerians are now speaking with one mind. They are now showing concern in whatever thing that is going. No one is turning a blind eye to what's going on.
I think that's a good one. I want to applaud Ohaneze for saying that.
Yeah. So that will be the size of the headlines from the Guardian newspaper.
All right, from the Guardian. Thank you, Antonia. Let's quickly move to the Matrix. Well, above the header, I have this headline which says, Court orders Binance to share data with EFCC amid allegation of terrorism financing. So many things happened before Binance actually moved from Nigeria. We heard some of their staff were arrested. We first heard that they are responsible for the constant fall of Naira. Today we are hearing again about terrorism financing. Well, let's see how that is going to end. Let it not be that the federal government is trying to look at a different place from where these sponsors are coming. There was a time we heard that there are some sponsors, but their names we don't know.
Mentioned.
Those people were not brought to book. And terrorism still continues in this country. It's so pathetic. All right. Let's see what will happen at the end of the day. Still from the Matrix. Getting People's Constitution tops agenda as the patriots hold national constitutional dialogue. Just one rider to that story. Anyoku. Okay. Then Ezekome Others says a constitution amendment, not solution to Nigeria's problem. Okay. Then the big story from the Matrix this morning. Worsening insecurity. Peter Obi laments. Peter Obi laments. Well, I think, well, let me just take the riders. I don't want to talk much about this because of what is happening in Kaduna State and other parts of Nigeria. Probably we'll talk about this much later. Worsening insecurity, Peter Obi laments. 3 riders to that story. Says Nigeria now ranked among riskiest countries to live as over 7,000 is kidnapped in a year. In just 1 year. I take that again. Obi says Nigeria now ranked among riskiest countries to live as over riskiest country to live. All right. Why? Because over 7,000 is kidnapped in 1 year. Who would want to invest in this kind of country? Who would even want to live?
That's the reason why the Japa
syndrome is increasing on a daily basis.
Doctors are leaving, teachers are leaving. A lot of most people that when they were in their undergraduate days would say school na scam and would not want to pay attention, like put their head down to study. Now want to look for ways to leave the country through study routes. Okay, even if let it be that I want to go there to read book. So far, I leave Nigeria. That's what's
In fact,
happening now.
some are going as menial workers.
Yes, to do menial jobs, just so I can leave Nigeria.
Some are even going there to farm.
It's so
Truck
sad.
drivers.
It's so sad.
I'm talking about experts in Nigeria, professionals in Nigeria, because they just want to leave. All right, the last rider to that story: anxiety as gunmen abduct 87 in Kajuru village again. All right. Finally, there's still one rider to that story. CDS arrives Kaduna as troops rescue 16 adoptees in Kajuru, that's Kaduna State. And hardship, Sanu, Nasu commence strike, ground varsity. And this is going to be the last. Okay, this one catches my fancy. Let me just take it. Wike seeks reps approval to borrow 500 billion naira to finance 2024 budget. Please. Wike wants to borrow money. How much is he borrowing? He wants to borrow 500 billion naira to finance 2024 budget.
Is the 2024 budget for just the FCT or for the whole of Nigeria?
Sonia, I think same question is popping in my heart
needs
too.
to explain to us, because is it the same budget that was allegedly padded with over 3 billion naira or 3 trillion?
I think maybe he's talking about FCT budget. Probably.
He needs to come out clean
and let us
know what's going on here.
All right, this is going to be the size of the headlines. All right. We want to go on break. After this break, we'll return, and it's going to be time for the big story. Something very big is happening, and it's of a great concern, and it's all about you. We'll return.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleketv for a thrilling journey. Oweleketv, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back from that break. It is still Outnumbered live on your screen, and it's now time for the big story. My name is Ramsey, and I also have Anthony Nwokolo right here. Well, we are two today. No one is being outnumbered today.
It's a balance.
It's a balanced number today. But then let's talk about this. Apart from the fact that Peter Obi was a presidential candidate in the just concluded 2023 presidential election for the Labour Party, this is one man that has constantly, talked about things that are of great concern to Nigerians. Today, he's talking about worsening insecurity. It's worsening. Every day, you hear of one attack or the other. For the past days, it's been Kaduna. There are so many others happening that we are not even aware of. But now, Peter Obi is lamenting. But the whole situation is worrisome. And this is one man that travels from one place to the other, visit people when they have situations. Don't be surprised if you hear tomorrow that Peter Obi is in Kaduna, to pay visit to the people that have been affected and all of that. Condolences. He's been doing so much. And today, he's lamenting. Every good and, should I say, concerned Nigerian should be worried about the security situation of this country. It's worsening by the day. And there is something he said. He says, Nigeria now rank among the riskiest country to live in Nigeria. Why? Because over 7,000 persons are being kidnapped in 1 year. 7,000. All right. Someone said something behind camera before we came up for the big story. And the person said, well, I think anyone living in Nigeria at this time should be paid risk allowance.
Because it's more like being a Nigerian is a full-time job.
It's a full-time job.
You wake up in the morning, you are skeptical about, you literally have your heart in your hands. Because coming out of your house, it's either the government is enacting policies that that are imposing hardship on the citizens. The insecurity is there. You have a lot of things to worry about as a Nigerian. You don't feel secure, you don't feel safe in your fatherland.
In your father's land.
And no, it's really sad. It's really sad. You know, with Nigeria in the hunger index ranking 109 out of 125 countries, now is now one of the riskiest
countries to live.
How long will we continue to be in the bad light? How long would we continue to always have this negativity surrounding Nigeria? It's so sad to see this, honestly.
We heard that the president traveled the other time, to talk about business deals, people coming to invest in this country. But how can you invest in a country like this? Or you want to maybe bring your business to this country, then you fly back to your country. Who will take care of it?
No businessman.
Or which expatriate will want to stay in this kind of country?
Recent
time, we heard some expatriates were even kidnapped. And it's so pathetic.
Even though we are laughing, it's a pathetic situation. It has got to the point where we can no longer cry. We can no longer stay angry. Just like, let's just smile and everything will be okay.
Someone said Nigerians, in fact, they can endure things. Nigeria can bear things. A lot of things have been thrown to the faces of Nigerians, and they bear it. You see Nigerians struggling. Nigerians are very hardworking. Now, if you want to leave your house in the morning, you don't have a budget anymore.
At all.
Before now, if you want to leave your house, you can say, well, going and coming, feeding at least with 1,015, I should be able to get a lunch at work, maybe my transport, maybe with 2,000. But now, as you're leaving your house, you get to the bus stop and you budgeted 1,000. Before you know it, you hear conductors shouting 15, 15, 15, 15.
You just come out with your 1,000 and your ATM.
And your
so you use the nearest POS or ATM.
Unfortunate for people who don't have money in their accounts. So that's the kind of country we are at this very particular point in time. So, Sonia, what would you say about Peter Obi, the constant cry?
Yeah, no, Peter Obi.
The lamentation.
Yeah, it's more like a book of the Bible.
Book of lamentation.
No, the constant cry is not out of place. The constant cry of Peter Obi is not out of place. And he's not the only one also speaking up on the issues we are facing as a country. You and I appear unoutnumbered and we constantly talk about the issues Nigeria.
And Ohaneze this morning too.
Ohaneze, a different elite, even the civil societies organization, they've been talking. NLC even wanted to go on strike and they were intimidated. Yesterday, Sanu and Nasu, they started their
strike is still on.
Their strike is still on. So Nigerians have been speaking up, not just about insecurity, not just about the economic situation of the country, about a lot of issues. And this insecurity is just one of them, because if a country is not secure, how would economic activities thrive? If the country is not secure, then people will not be able to do businesses, and that way Nigeria will not be a productive nation as it should be. So it's up to the government. It's up to the government, like the way the president has charged the Nigerian army to go after the killers of the soldiers in Delta State. So also they should take that bold step. They should also make efforts, strategies. We want to see plans. We want to see the security situation in Nigeria improving, and Nigerians being able to leave their houses, sleep with their doors open, not leaving the doors open literally, but have that confidence that you are secure, you are safe in your land.
But I think that's what it means. When you say leave the door open, it means you can sleep with your eyes closed, at least. The security is there. There is no problem. No one is coming to kidnap and all of that. And I think I would like to say this before we call it a wrap on the program. Peter Obi is speaking. Civil society organizations are speaking. Nigerians are protesting. All right. Ohaneze is speaking. And Sonia and I come up here every day and we say things. We talk. We speak out. We speak the minds of Nigerians because we are closer to them at some point, because we interact with these people on a daily basis and we know how they feel because we are even part of them. But the government, what are you doing? What is the government doing to salvage the situation? Well, This is going to be the size of the big story this morning on Outnumbered. Do everything possible to secure your properties. Do everything possible to stay safe. Nigeria is our country, and we believe in this nation. This nation will be great again. And I know God is going to push the system so that every pharaoh will be pushed aside for freedom and everything that Nigerians need to come to play. Thank you very much, Antonia, for adding your voice to the conversation.
Thank you, Pastor Ramsey.
Oh my God. My name is Ramsey. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye for now.